students, welcome back. Today I'm Anuradha from Art and Progressive School, going to start another topic of the same chapter, that is life processes. It means that what are the different processes which is very important for the life. So in that term we have discussed the different characteristics of life. Then we have done the different processes and we have started from where? From the first process, that is the nutrition. Okay, so nutrition in plants we have completed, and after that nutrition in human being. So in continuation of that life processes, the second step will come here, that is the respiration. Okay, so what do you understand by respiration? It means that whatever the food you have taken, okay, and you have broken down into the simpler form, and this simpler form will reach to each and every body cells, right? So what is going to happen in each body cells? It will reach and it will give some energy. So how you will get energy? How you will get energy from the nutrient? When and only there will be oxidation of food. Okay, so if it is a cell, okay, and the nutrients which you have taken, it will reach here. What will happen? With the help of oxygen, it will break down that nutrients, and after that it will give the energy, and this energy will store in the mitochondria of the cell, because we know that mitochondria is one of the cell organelle, right? So what is the role of mitochondria? It is a powerhouse of the cell, and in form of ATP, it will give the energy. Okay, so here what is going to happen, that it is a process of releasing energy. It means that whatever the thing it is coming in the cell, it will give energy only and only when it will get oxidized. Okay, so how it will get oxidized? With the help of oxygen, and as it is happening in the cellular level, so we will call it cellular respiration. Okay, so what is cellular respiration? In which the respiration, oxidation of food takes place in the cells, right here. And we know that for carrying all the life processes, okay, whether you are taking food or the reproduction, or even if you are sleeping and you are dreaming, for that one also you need some energy. So from where it will come? It will come from the respiration, because in respiration there will be breakdown of food and it will release energy. Okay, and it is very important for carrying all the life processes. Okay, so another point is what? When we are talking about the respiration, okay, so don't confuse between the terms breathing and respiration. Why? Because breathing is what? When we are talking about only inhalation of oxygen and exhaling of CO2, this is known as the breathing, okay, or we can say exchange of gases. But along with this breathing, when we are talking about the oxidation of that food, okay, then we will call it the respiration. So we can say respiration is what? It is a combination of breathing as well as the oxidation of food. Okay, so this is the complete definition of respiration. Why oxidation? Because due to the exchange of gases, oxygen will get inside the body, and due to this oxygen there will be breakdown of the food. Is it clear? So now we can say there will be physical as well as the biochemical process. Both are working together for the respiration. Okay. Now, so what are the things involved for the respiration? Here, the lungs as well as mitochondria. Okay, so through which the oxygen get enter inside the body, and it will reach to each and every cell of the body. So through the lungs it will enter inside the body, and here the second role of mitochondria, because it store the energy, right? So two things are important which is there in the respiration. Now another one is whatever the energy they are producing here, it will store in which form? In form of ATP. So these are the important we can say important information about the respiration. Now comes to the respiration in different type of organisms. If I will say that respiration in case of unicellular organism, okay, because they are also respiring. What is respiration? Somehow it is exchange of gases, right? So in case of unicellular organism, body is not that much complicated. Why? Because it is only a single cell. If it is amoeba, it is a single cell, and wherever it is residing, okay, if amoeba is present, if I will draw the structure as amoeba, okay, it is this situated where? In the aquatic condition. So how it will respire, or it means that how it will take oxygen inside the body with the help of the dissolved oxygen which is present in the environmental condition. Okay, so whatever the oxygen which is dissolved in this water, it will get enter inside the body. Why? Because the whole body is having the we can say whole body is placing in the aquatic medium. Okay, with the help of which process? With the help of diffusion. This one is very important. Diffusion is what we have done. The diffusion is whenever we are talking about the gases and how the gases will move, that they will move from its higher concentration to lower concentration. If the concentration of oxygen will be more in the surrounding medium, what will happen? It will try to enter towards the less medium. It means that it is moving from its higher concentration to lower concentration, right? So likewise, with the help of diffusion, they are exchanging the gases. Okay, so in case of unicellular organism, what they are doing? They are exchanging the gases, right? But if I will talk about the multicellular organism, for example, human beings, in that case, what is happening? Body is what? We are multicellular organism. Okay, diffusion is there, but we cannot exchange all the gases with the help of diffusion only. Why is it so? Because we are having that much larger structure, because each and every cell is not in direct contact with the atmosphere. Okay, we are residing where? In the terrestrial form. So wherever we are living, our all body cells, they are not in contact with the surrounding environment. But if I will talk about the unicellular organism, their body is totally present in the surrounding medium, and that's why that single cell can exchange the gases very easily. Okay, as well as here, if I will compare the oxygen taken by the aquatic organisms or by the terrestrial animals, it will be more in case of terrestrial. Why? Because the oxygen they are taking in very less quantity. Okay, whatever the oxygen which is present in the surrounding, it cannot get entered inside the body. Okay, as compared to the terrestrial or the human beings. In human beings, what is happening? We are taking more and more oxygen from the atmosphere, right? That's why in case of unicellular organism, the respiration rate is faster. Okay, or we can say exchange of gases is faster because less amount of oxygen is getting inside. But in case of the human beings, it will take more time, it is more complicated body. Okay, organization is complicated. Why? Because we are taking more and more oxygen, and each cell has to reach each and every cell. Okay, then only we will get sufficient amount of energy to do or to perform the life activities. Okay, so this is again important information about this unicellular and multicellular. Okay, now we have classified the respiration on the basis of the gases or the oxygen into majorly two types. What are they? Aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Okay, so we can say that respiration can be of majorly two types. What are they? Aerobic and as well as anaerobic. When we are talking about the aerobic respiration, it means that this type of respiration takes place in presence of oxygen. It means that the condition is that oxygen will remain present every time. Okay, then only it can happen. So what about the anaerobic? Okay, anaerobic means that there will be no oxygen or there will be lack of oxygen. Okay, in some condition there may be lack of oxygen. Okay, there in some condition it may be lack of oxygen, and in other condition it can be absence of oxygen. So two conditions are here. So what you are understanding? That aerobic is what? With the help of oxygen, and anaerobic when there will be lack of oxygen. It means that what are the cells where the oxygen cannot be present. For example, if I will talk about the fermentation. Okay, fermentation which takes place or in case of yeast cell. Okay, in case of yeast cell, there will be no aerobic respiration. Okay, and without this oxygen, what is going to happen? There will be formation of the ethanol. Okay, so ethanol which we are getting, it is due to the lack of oxygen, and the process it is known as the fermentation. Okay, second one is what? It is the absence of oxygen. It means that if I will talk about the body cells, because in our bodies it cannot happen that any cell without the oxygen. Okay, somehow or some amount of oxygen will remain there. That's why during the exercise, what is going to happen, that there will be more and more need of oxygen. Why? Because we are performing the hard work, and due to this hard work, what is happening, that there will be more breakdown, and it needs more breakdown of glucose, and then only we will get the more energy. Okay, so more the breakdown, more the energy, and that time there will be absence of oxygen, and due to this absence of oxygen, what will happen, that there will be the lactic acid formation, and this lactic formation is responsible for the cramping of muscles. Okay, what is happening to the athletes, that as they are doing the hard work, what is happening, or the exercise, what is happening, there will be absence of oxygen, and due to that there will be cramping in their muscles. Okay, why it is so? Due to the accumulation of lactic acid. So if you will see that in all three steps, whether it is aerobic or anaerobic, or the parts of anaerobic, that is fermentation, or the lactic acid formation, what is going to happen, they are giving some energy. Okay, but the rate of energy will be different for aerobic as well as anaerobic. Why? Because here we are breaking down the whole food with the help of oxygen, because oxidation is more, that's why we are getting more amount of energy from the aerobic respiration. But in case of anaerobic respiration, if there is no oxygen, what is going to happen, then in this case we are getting less amount of energy. Okay, so here we will understand that the what is a feed of glucose. What do you understand by feed? It means that what are the possibility, you will, what are the possibilities or the outcome which is going to get after the oxidation of glucose. Okay, so glucose is what? Glucose is 6 carbon compound. We know that glucose is what? C6H12O6, right? So this is what? C3, 4, 5 and 6. In very simple manner, glucose is a 6 carbon compound. Okay, here what is happening, as there will be intake, or as there will be inside the oxygen. Okay, so what is going to happen, it will break down this carbon chain. So how it will break its carbon chain, it will break into 2 molecules of 3 carbon compound. You can see it here that initially it is 6 carbon compound. If there will be oxidation with the help of oxygen, what is going to happen, that this 6 carbon compound will break into 2 molecules of 3 carbon. For example, now it will become 3 carbon compound, right? And this 3 carbon compound is what? It is pyruvate. Are you getting? So how many pyruvate you are getting here? 2 molecules of pyruvate. This is also here and this is also here. This is also 3 carbon compound, right? So whatever the thing it is happening where? In the cell. And which part of the cell? Because we know that if it is animal cell and this one is the nucleus, okay, and rest of the part is what? It is a cytoplasm, and in this cytoplasm, what is there? Mitochondria is present. Okay, so what is going to happen? This 6 carbon compound is going to break down to 3 carbon compound, and here the same 3 carbon compound for all the things, whether it is absence or lack of oxygen or oxygen is present. So whatever thing it is happening in the cytoplasm. So you can understand that in the cytoplasm what is happening? Glucose will break down into 3 carbon compound, that is the pyruvate. Now from here, from this cytoplasm, it will enter into the mitochondria. So what is going to happen in this mitochondria? It will occur when only there will be presence of oxygen. Okay, what I want to say, that second step of this breakdown of glucose, it will take place where? In the mitochondria, only and only when it is a aerobic respiration. So in aerobic respiration, what is going to happen? It will enter into the mitochondria, and here it will break down into CO2, water, as a byproduct, and it is giving the energy. Okay, and this mitochondria will store the energy in form of ATP molecules, right? So what they have done? They have formed the ATP here, and when we are utilizing this ATP, initially what we are doing, we are having ADP and we have added one inorganic phosphate, this ADP, and we have formed what? We have formed the ATP. Now, once you have formed this ATP, when you are using this energy for different life activities, what is going to happen? Again, this ATP will break down into ADP and one inorganic phosphate. Right here. So, what you are observing that it is the catabolic process. What is catabolic process? It means that some larger molecule, okay, it will be broken down into the smaller molecules right here. And photosynthesis is what? It is the anabolic process, because we are adding the smaller inorganic compound and forming the complex organic molecule right here. So this is what? This is the aerobic respiration, in which the pyruvate, it will again break down into CO2 and water. Okay, that's why during the respiration, what is happening? We are releasing the CO2, okay, and we are taking the oxygen from the plants or from the atmosphere, and we are using this oxygen for the breakdown of our food, right? So this is the first part, which is known as the aerobic respiration, and here it is taking place in the mitochondria. Okay, now comes to the lack of oxygen. In lack of oxygen means that our cell is getting less amount of oxygen as compared to this aerobic respiration. Okay, so what is going to happen here? That here it will form the lactic acid, and this one will take place where? In the muscle cells. Oxygen. If I will talk about the anaerobic respiration, where the fermentation will take place, it will form the ethanol. Right, so we can say that if oxygen is present, okay, so how much energy we will get it here? We will get 38 ATP. You can compare it here, that in presence of oxygen, if there will be breakdown of food or there will be oxidation of food, what will happen? We will get 38 ATP molecules. And if there will be lack or some absence of oxygen, what we are happening? We are getting the 2 ATP molecules. What we are getting here? 2 ATP molecules. So you can relate it here, that what is happening? Aerobic respiration is going to provide more energy. Okay, and due to that there may be different life processes can be happen. Okay, comes to the next part, that is respiration in plants, because we know that only human beings, they are not respiring. Even plants, they are also respiring. So how they are going to respire? If I will talk about the different parts of the plant, that is root, stems, leaves, all they are involving for the respiration. It means that there will be continuous exchange of gases of O2 and CO2. So how it is going to happen here? That in case of roots or in case of stems or leaves, what are they? They are having the stomata. Okay, in green parts of the stem also they are having the stomata. Even in the larger plants, the woody plants, they are having the lenticels. So all they are responsible for the exchange of gases. Okay, and during the night hours especially, what is happening? The plants, they are giving the CO2, okay, and taking the O2, as well as whatever the O2 they have prepared during the daytime, they also save with us, so that it can use that oxygen and it can break down the stored food. Okay, because plants, they are also storing their foods. They are giving the food, but somehow they are storing the food for themselves also. So oxygen as well as food which they are having, it will get breakdown, and due to this breakdown it will get energy. And even plants, they also need the energy for the growth, for the different activities, for the transpiration, for the reproduction. Okay, so they need energy. So how they are getting the energy? With the help of respiration. Okay, so respiration is somehow it is the reverse of the photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, what is happening? They will prepare the food, okay, and during that time they are releasing CO2. But in case of respiration, what they are doing? They are breaking down the food and they are giving the CO2 that time. Okay, now comes to the respiration in animals. So some animals are there. If I will talk about the lower animals, how the respiration takes place. In case of amoeba, we have done that. In amoeba, what is happening? That whole body is placed in the surrounding medium. It means that whole body is in contact with the surrounding one. Okay, but as there will be complication, there will be multicellular organism, like we human beings are all body cells, they are not in direct contact. Okay, so here in case of unicellular animals, the whole cell membrane is responsible for the exchange of gases, and what is that process? It is known as the diffusion. Okay, diffusion is what? Transfer of molecules from its higher concentration to lower concentration, and here we are talking about the gases. Right here, then comes to the earthworm. Earthworm, these are the animals. Again, the whole body surface, they are responsible for the exchange of gases. That's why, which is responsible here? Skin. And this type of respiration, it is also known as the cutaneous respiration. Okay. Likewise, in case of fishes, the fishes, they used to live in the aquatic condition. Okay, so how they are respiring? Whatever the oxygen dissolved in water, they are going to take inside the body with the help of gills. So what is the specialized structure which is present in the fishes? This is the gill here. Okay, now comes to the insects. Insects are what? Insects, they are, example, cockroaches. Okay, they are respiring with the help of the tracheal tube or the trachea or the spiracles, right? And as we are moving toward the humans and birds, they are having the specialized organ that is known as the lungs. Okay, so with the help of lungs, we are taking the oxygen and we are exhaling the CO2. Okay, so in this chapter, here we are more focusing towards the respiration in human beings. Okay, and here you have to memorize all the different structure which are responsible for the other animals too. Right here, so let's start with the respiration in human. Here we will understand that how the respiration process takes place in human beings. Okay, so here as we have done the nutrition, okay, so there we have discussed about the digestion also. Okay, nutrition in human beings, digestion, digestive system is there. So for the digestive system, we have done two parts. What are they? Alimentary canal, okay, as well as the digestive glands. Right? So here also in this system, that is a respiratory system, it consists of two different parts, that is a respiratory tract and the respiratory organ, and both combinedly they are going to play an important role in the respiration process. So how it is happening here? We know that for any respiratory tract, what is required? There are some different steps. Okay, for example, if we have done the digestive system and digestive glands, right? So in the digestive system, we have started with the alimentary canal, then we have started all these things from the mouth. Okay, then there will be buccal cavity, there will be pharynx. Likewise, in case of respiration also, the first thing is what? Respiratory tract. It means that this is the passage. Okay, this is what? This is the passage through which what is going to happen? The air is going to enter inside the respiratory organ. Okay, and what is the respiratory organ? That is the lungs. Right here. So if I say that about the respiratory system, it will start from where? From the nostrils. Okay, what are the nostrils? These are the external layers. We are having two nostrils. Okay, so in your, if I will talk about this structure, so with the help of nose, okay, in nose you are having the nostrils, right? And from this nostril, what will happen? The air will get enter inside it. Okay, what is going to happen? The air will get enter inside it. So the first part, that is the nostril. And what is nostril? It is, they are the external layers and they are the openings through which the air will get enter inside the nostril, right? After that there is a nasal chamber or the nasal passage. What do you understand? So here, if you can imagine that from here the nose having some passage, okay, then only it will reach where? Into the pharynx. And we have done previously in the digestive system from the mouth. Okay, from the mouth, what is present? There will be the food pipe. Okay, so this food pipe is also there, which will connect it here. Okay, so that there is a common opening or there is a common place where this food pipe as well as the wind pipe, they will meet. And what is that common opening? It is known as the pharynx. So before reaching to the pharynx, as it is getting entered inside the nose with the help of nostril, it will reach into the nasal chamber, and inside the nasal chamber they are having some mucus or the hairs. Okay, so what is the role of these hairs? Whatever the dust particle they are present in the air, it will get filtered out. Okay, so here what is happening in the nasal chamber? There will be filtration. After filtering, it will move towards the pharynx. One more important role about the nasal chamber. What is that? Here there will be the temperature maintenance also. Whatever the temperature of body, it will maintain this here. Why? So that the temperature should not be more and should not be lower than the body temperature. Okay, so here we can say that now that air, it will move towards the pharynx. So as it will move towards the pharynx, what is going to happen? It will reach at a common place, and in this common place, what is present? There will be the glottis. We have discussed this thing in the digestive system, that here what is happening, that this glottis is present. This glottis is present where? In the trachea, and trachea is what? It is known as the windpipe. Okay, if I will draw the structure like this, okay, if I will draw the structure like this, what is happening, that this is the common opening, this is the common place where air is also entering, food is also entering. Okay, so if this is a place, there will be some structure which is known as the glottis. Okay, so glottis is what? It is the thing which is present in the trachea, and above to it there is an epiglottis. It will remain closed, okay, during the swallowing of food. Why? Because if we will talk while eating, it will, this flap will get open and food will enter. Where? Food will enter into your tracheal or into the trachea. Okay, and trachea is what? It is the windpipe. And what is the food pipe? Esophagus. So what is happening here? That air will move towards the glottis, okay, and here, from here, it will move towards the trachea. Now as it will reach towards the trachea, trachea is what? It is the windpipe. From here, again this will get bifurcated. Okay, how this will get bifurcated? Because they are having lungs. Okay, so here what is happening? Lungs are present. These lungs, inside this lungs, as this trachea is coming, it will again give branching here. Okay, again there will be branching. So what are these things? One by one, this windpipe, as it will move towards the lungs, it is known as what? It is known as the bronchi. Okay, again this will get the branching, it is known as the bronchioles. Okay, so what is happening? That this tracheal tube is present. Here need to understand that in this tracheal tube, these C-type rings are present. Okay, so what is this C-type ring? These are the cartilage. Okay, these are the cartilage. Even these cartilage, these are present up to here also. Okay, so what you are getting, that as air will get enter inside this tube, it is required that there must be a cartilaginous ring in this windpipe. So what will happen if it is not present here? The pipe or the windpipe, it will get collapsed. Okay, due to the absence of oxygen. So what will happen? They will get collapsed. So these cartilaginous rings, they are preventing the windpipe from the collapsing. Okay, so we have done that. This will lead the air towards the lungs. So here in the lungs, these again will get branching, and these branching will form the bronchioles, and at the tip of each and every bronchiole, what we are having? We are having the alveoli. What we are having? Alveoli. And these alveoli are what? Alveoli sac. It is a bag-like structure. Okay, it is a bag-like structure, and when we are talking about the single bag-like structure, we are calling it alveolus, and when we are talking more and more bag-like structure, we will call it alveoli. Okay, so now what exactly it is going to happen during the respiration? We have done, this is a tract through which wind will move. Okay, sorry, air will move. So now as air will enter inside this bronchi or bronchioles, what is going to happen? There will be the exchange of gases, and this exchange of gases will take place with the help of diffusion. Okay, so diffusion will work here again, exchange of gases from its higher concentration to lower concentration. And what you are observing, that we are having two gases, oxygen and CO2. So in the surrounding medium, we are having more and more oxygen. Okay, in surrounding medium we are having more oxygen, and inside our body we are having more CO2. Okay, so if I will draw the structure like this is what, this is the alveolus, or that alveoli. Okay, singular we are talking about the alveolus, and around it so many blood capillaries are present. Okay, surrounding to it so many blood capillaries are present, and these blood capillaries, they are connected to our body cells. Okay, so in our body what is happening, it is giving more and more deoxygenated blood. It means that the blood which is present here, it is having more CO2 concentration. Okay, as well as the gas which is present inside it, inside this alveolar sac, it is having more oxygen. So what you are getting from here, that there will be diffusion, and how the diffusion will take place? For the diffusion there must be the we can say permeable membrane. Okay, the membrane should not be thick. So the membrane which is present here, it is not the thick one, so that what will happen, the exchange of gases can be taken place very easily. Right here, so what is happening, if the concentration of CO2 will be more inside this capillary, it is moving towards the less CO2, because inside the alveolar sac, what is there, there will be less concentration of CO2. So what will happen, this CO2 will move towards the alveolar sac, and inside the alveolar sac we are having more oxygen, but in blood capillaries we are having less oxygen. So oxygen will tend to move towards the capillaries. Okay, and these blood capillaries again moving to our body cells. Okay, so throughout our body these capillaries are present. So from one end the deoxygenated blood is coming. Okay, and if you will talk about a double circulation, in the next topic we will start with the circulation, in which what is happening, the heart which is there and four chambered heart. So from there, the deoxygenated blood, it will move towards the lungs. And what is the role of lungs? It is responsible for the oxygenation. So whatever the CO2 is present in the blood, it will move towards the alveoli, and from this alveoli the CO2 will move outside. Okay, so like same thing, this CO2 will move outside from the body, and oxygen will enter and it will mixed with the blood here. Okay, and in your blood what is present, hemoglobin is present, which is responsible for the we can say for attaching the oxygen. It is having the higher affinity to attach with the oxygen. So what is going to happen, these are the respiratory pigments. So along with all these things there must be the respiratory pigments also. So whatever the oxygen which is present in this alveoli sac, it will move towards the blood here in this capillaries, and here in blood hemoglobin is there, and hemoglobin will attach with this oxygen and it will form the oxyhemoglobin. Okay, so in this one is very important, and sometimes it is also forming the carbinohemoglobin, but we are not discussing it here because we are talking about the more affinity of the oxygen with the hemoglobin. Right here, so what we have done, that there will be exchange of gases through the diffusion in our alveoli sac. Right, so here what we have done, that respiratory organ is there, and what is the respiratory organ, it is the lungs. Okay, so if I will draw the structure here very finely, this is what, these are the lungs. Now one more important thing you have to understand, what are the things which is related from this lungs. At the lower part, okay, at the lower part it is having the diaphragm. Okay, and if I will talk about the dorsal part, so our lungs is covered, okay, or the dorsally there will be the vertebral column, and the ventrally it is having the sternum, and the laterally they are having the ribs also. Okay, they are having the ribs also. So we can say our lung is protected very finely, and at the lower end there will be the diaphragm. Right here, now these lungs again covered by some membrane. If I will talk about the membrane of the lungs, it is having some fluids, and this space, or it is known as pleura. Why it is present? If there will be any mechanical injury, okay, it will act as a shock absorbance. Right, so it can protect. So with the help of these ribs as well as this fluid, the lung is protected. Okay, now what is going to happen during the respiration? This part is what? This part is about the what type of respiration it is going to happen, that which is happening due to the exchange of gases, due to the diffusion. But along with the diffusion, there is some another mechanism which is happening in our body. So mechanism of breathing is what? Breathing is something exchange of gases. Okay, during the exchange of gases there will be some changes in the body part or in the lungs part, right? And the whole area which is present, okay, as I have said, dorsally, ventrally, laterally, this part is known as what? Thoracic region. Okay, what is thoracic region? Whatever the region it is present about this lungs, it is known as the thoracic region, right here. And in this thoracic region, heart is also present. Okay, this heart is also present in this thoracic region. Now what is happening during the breathing? There will be some inspiration, it means an entry of oxygen, and expiration or the exhalation means a release of CO2. So during that time, what are the changes it is going to take place here? So here you can say, as you are taking the air inside your body, what is happening? This thoracic region will get changed. How it will get changed? There will be contraction of respiratory muscles. It means that whatever this diaphragm is present, it will get lowered. It means that it will get flat. Okay, or I can draw the structure that somehow it will become flat. Okay, and these ribs which I have drawn it here, it will move upward. So what you have observed, due to this there will be more space in this thoracic region. So due to the inspiration, what are the changes is going to take place? Ribs will move upwards, as well as this diaphragm will get flat, and due to this there will be more space. Okay, and we know that if space will be more, for example, these are the two conditions. This is one box and this is the another box. Okay, in one box we are having only few molecules. In one we are having more molecules, right? So what will happen? The pressure will be less here in the first condition, and the pressure will be more in the next one. Why? Due to the molecules. Okay, so same thing it is happening here in the first case. During the inspiration, what is happening? There will be more and more spaces, and due to the more spaces, the atmospheric pressure will be low. Okay, and in the surrounding medium, the atmospheric pressure is high. So what is it? The movement from its high atmospheric pressure to the low atmospheric pressure, it is happening the inspiration. Okay, so here what is happening? The air will get enter inside the body or inside the lungs here, right? And during the expiration or exhalation, what will happen? The diaphragm, it will come to the original position. It means that now it is again in a dome shape. Okay, diaphragm is what? It is in a dome shape. Now what you are observing, that this space is less as compared to the during the inspiration, and due to this what will happen? If the place will be less, okay, if the place will be less, what is going to happen? That now the atmospheric pressure will be more, and if the pressure will be more, what will happen? Whatever the gas which is present here, it will move outside. Okay, so two things are there. This is known as what? This is known as the active respiration, in which we are having some changes, and this one is the passive. So expiration is what? It is a passive respiration. Okay, so here we have completed that how the respiration takes place in the human beings. Two mechanisms are there. The first is related to the exchange of gases with the help of diffusion, and another one is the inspiration and expiration due to the changes in the muscles, right here. So here we have completed the second life process, that is a respiration. That's all for today. Thank you.